We'll go 5 times first. So heels close together, toes out, head up, chin in, shoulders relaxed. Remember, tongue on the roof of your mouth. Okay, so into opening form. Remember, hands up, we sink, we press, we sink. Then into warrior pounds mortar. To the left, to the right. Shift back to your left, turn. Don't let your left knee collapse. Drop your center as you shift. Stay the same height when you lift. Sink, weight on your right. Down, turn, turning your foot. And open. Right arm, right leg forwards. Making a fist. Down, up, down. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle back. So into lazily tying coat, just like normal. Six, sealing, 4, closing. Single whip. And up. Okay, so again, ready into the Wuji stance. Okay, into opening form. Into warrior pounds mortar. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle back into lazily tying coat. Six, sealing, 4, closing. Single whip. Okay, up. And again, ready into the Wuji stance. Okay, into opening form. Into warrior pounds mortar. I'm just going to shuffle back. So ready into lazily tying coat. Six, sealing, 4, closing. Single whip. Okay? And a couple more times. Ready? Into the Wuji stance. Okay. The opening form. Warrior palms mortar. Just going to shuffle back. So lazily tying coat. Six sealing, 4 closing. Single whip. Okay. Up. And one more time. Okay, into the Wuji stance. Okay, opening form. Warrior palms mortar. I'm just going to move back. This time we'll go mirror image. So ready, lazily tying coat. And hold. Focus on your breath. Remember, head up, chin in. Shoulders relaxed. Empty your chest. Try to sit into your kwa. Remember the good shape between your legs. And change. 6 sealing, 4 closing. Into single whip. And hold. Remember, weight on your left. Shoulders relaxed, elbows slightly bent, wrist relaxed, head up, chin in, chest empty, sinking into your kwa, your hip crease. Good shape between your legs. Focus on your breath. And up, feet shoulder width apart. Breathe in like normal, so straighten your legs, breathing in, down, sink down, breathe out. Remember, in through your nose, out through your nose. Coordinate your breath with your own movement. So you focus on your breath, gradually making your breath deeper and smoother. So in your own time. So remember, as your hands come up, keep your shoulders relaxed. As you sink, you want that feeling of being lifted from your crown. So you have the two opposing strengths, sinking and rising. And as you breathe out and press down and sink, empty your upper body, sinking into your hips. Feel your root connection grow to the floor. And relax when you're finished in your own time. Let your arms, your legs shake out. Okay, everybody okay? Yeah, good. Okay, so let's go through the core silk wheeling body mechanic drills, yeah? So we'll always start with the qua, the sinking into the hip. So that's really important in Chen Tai Chi. So let's do this wrong first. So you stand feet shoulder width apart. Remember, we just want to sink or squat down slightly or bend down using your knees, yeah? So we're going to really exaggerate this feeling. So it's like, can you see I'm bending into the knees? So you're probably, or we're not probably going to be doing this type of movement too extremely when we practice Tai Chi, but as we fatigue or when we're not used to certain movements, this is going to happen. And we don't want this because then we're putting our weight through the knee. And especially if we're doing like long form movements and slowly, it's not that good for our joints, yeah? And also in Tai Chi, it's based on structure and alignment. And if your structure isn't correct, then it's not really Tai Chi. So ready, we sink. So this is what we don't want to do, yeah? Okay, so we do bend the knees, but we want to use the hip crease, the sinking. So we will exaggerate, so we squat down, pushing your hips back and hinge, fold at the hips, and that will bend your knees. So obviously we don't bend forwards in lots of movements in Tai Chi, but we want to make this feel real, or our nervous system to understand. And then we push up. And then again, you can go deeper than me if you want. You can do a full deep squat if you want. And then up. And just start to feel, so place your hands on your hips as we squat. Just feel this sinking movement or folding movement at the minute and how that bends your knees, yeah? So we want the bending of the knees to start from here. Yeah, just forwards and back. And stick your bum out as much as you feel comfortable. Bend forwards, hinge from your hips. You can even squat deep if you want. Same thing if you want to work a little bit harder, or you can stay higher. And so you use your hands to feel, use your awareness as well to sense and feel what's going on, and relax. And then let's go back to the wrong method. So hopefully it shouldn't feel nice. So we don't want to do this, we want to use the hip to sink. So this time we're going to do the same, but we keep the body upright, and the sinking movement is going to be small, and sink from your hips, and that bends your knees, and then up, sink, and up. So again, sink, feel this sinking into the hips, that bends the knees. So we sink and up. So keep going, sink and up, sink and up. And remember, as we sink, we want this good shape, this good round. There's also like a triangle shape in there, and also like a rounded shape, like a bridge in between your legs. So this is developing that structure that we're trying to keep when we shift side to side. So up, sink, trying to keep that rounded shape, sink and up. And now just because we're in this position and we're doing this drill, we can add to this, yeah? So this is not going to occur in every movement, so or maybe parts of it will occur. So we want to externally rotate your hip joints slightly as you sink. So if you look at my fists, is that kind of internal feeling out. You keep your feet flat and your knees move out slightly, so you have more of this rounded shape and good structure. So good pung, strength in the legs. So remember, in no pung, no Tai Chi. Yeah. So up. So we sink. So in Chen Tai Chi, this is how we start to develop it in the legs, or start to understand it. So we sink and up. Sink, and remember, as you sink, feel your connection to the floor, and then you push up. So you sink, feel the pressure build, so you can use that kinetic energy to lift back up. So sink and up, sink and up, sink and up. And remember, we can do this when we do the breathing exercise. In, out, in, out. And one more time. And relax, shake out. Okay, so the next thing we look at is using the waist. Yeah, some people will describe it as rotating from the spine, but in this particular exercise we want to think of the waist. Your spine will slightly rotate. So we're going to do this wrong first again. So if you just have a look, so we sink, I make a circle in front of my abdomen with my arms, yeah? Not up here. Okay, so this is going to just take away any other intentions that you're used to having holding this position. And we're going to just shift fast, side to side, twist your knees, move your hips, yeah, you can lift your foot. So remember, we don't want any of these movements happening. We don't want to twist the knees, we don't want to shift, we don't want the feet to roll, we don't want to rotate the hips. So we want to sink, and we make a small movement, a small, slow movement from the waist. So we turn slightly to one side, nothing else moves. Then we come back to the center. Then to the other side. So don't go too big, because we don't want to move the hips like this even. So I'm over exaggerating this movement. This will slightly start to happen. We want to solely focus on the waist. Then come back, pause for a moment, and you go side to side. So you turn to one side, pause for a moment, come back, turn to the other side, pause for a moment, then come back in your own time. So remember, don't move the hips, your knees, don't shift your weight, and sense and feel if it does happen, and try to feel how the movement of your waist moves your arms across your body, your side to side. Stay rooted. Remember to breathe. And as you get comfortable, you can maybe increase the range of motion, but again, we don't want anything else to move. If it does, just sense and feel and become aware of it. And even sense and feel if your connective tissue stretches, if the muscles stretch as well as you're doing this. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Remember, we want to have the feeling of how the waist moves your arms side to side, moves your arms side to side. We want to feel this connection build. And breathe in, breathe out, and relax, shake out. Okay, so next we'll focus on the shifting of the legs and the shape. Okay, so we'll just look at making the figure of eight shifting. So this is more one to just get used to the coordination and keeping the basic structure and alignment and working the flexibility of your ankles and your hips and your knees a little bit, but you're not doing this yet. It may seem like that, but we're not doing that. So we're drawing like a figure of eight or an infinity symbol also. So we step out to one side, weight on your right leg, sink in. Remember, you've got that good shape. Both the knees always stay bent, never straighten. When we shift, we've always got that good shape. So ready, we go across, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Just smooth. Try to keep your feet flat on the floor. So just continuously. Don't worry about your hips or your waist. So working the ankles, hips and knees, and just getting and keeping the structure in your legs as we go smoother, faster. So just drawing that figure of eight. Keep your feet flat. Keep your connection to the floor. And relax up. Okay, so the next exercise is the drilling or the twining with the legs. So remember, we exaggerate this in this particular exercise to make it feel real, and in the form it's a lot more subtle, but that's what we're doing. So we try to, some of the movements we have to exaggerate to understand them or to perfect them basically. So we'll shift to one side. So remember, you load the legs, so you can squat low as much as you feel comfortable, you can bend forwards. So we're trying to really load that leg. So can you see the structure is the same as when we were sinking up and down, that same feeling, and same when we're in the stances. You see, same, yeah, doesn't change. So we've got to maintain that. So ready? Use your hand as well to twist to give you the feel of what the leg is trying to do. So we drill, spiral, twine into the floor, shift. Keep that good shape. Then we come back, hinging from the hips, load. Ready? 2, back. Keep the knee bent, don't straighten. Come back, load the leg, feel that pressure build. 3, then back, load the leg. 4, again, load the leg. 5, come back, feel the floor, feel the connection. 6, and other side. Ready? So we load. 1, yeah, forward. So try not to straighten too much. 2, straighten the legs too much, sorry. So load the leg. 3, load the leg. 4, then load. 5, load. 1 more. 6, and up, relax, shake out. So next we'll go back to the waist. So the only movement in your arm is the rotation of your forearm, yeah? Okay, so when we move out, the palm faces down. When we move across, the palm faces up, yeah? And we don't want it like this kind of flowery kind of feeling, floaty feeling. That's wrong, yeah? So if you can imagine when we turn, it's like either you're pushing against something or pulling something. So we don't want this flowery type feeling, yeah? Or it's like you're chopping or hitting, but not like snapping, chopping, yeah? So in this movement, we have this good shape in the arm. The other hand we place on the abdomen, sink into your hips. There might be a little bit of movement in your hips, but we're trying to limit it. It's just because we're going a little bit faster and we're not shifting weight. So we try to connect this movement. Can you see from the waist? Turn from the waist. Boom. The only movement in the arm is up and down. So now when I go to my outside, I turn from my waist. Boom. I'm not using my arm to move across my body. It's the result of the movement of my waist. So let's go again. Ready? Together. So ready, we turn, out, cross. Turn the palm, boom, boom. So we've done this before. Remember, from your waist, try not to shift, move your legs too much. There might be a little bit of rotation or movement in the hips, that's okay. The knees stay in alignment. Try to feel this connection from your waist, the rotation of your spine, moving your arm out and in. And change other side, so that good shape in the arm. So turn. Okay, that's looking good. It's looking better than last time. Try to connect the waist, focus on the connection of the waist and the arm. Try not to shift your weight or move your knees. Your hips can slightly rotate, but we're not trying to make them move. Keep those shoulders relaxed. And relax. Okay, so let's go back to the shifting of the weight, the figure of eight. So this time we want to, remember we drill or twine. Boom. We use the waist and the quad together to load the leg, and we spiral across. Use the waist, quad. Can you see I've got that good shape in my legs? I'm keeping connected to the floor. So remember all the angles that we've discussed before about your body and stuff. So you find your stance. You can use your hands to help you feel what's going on. So I prefer to place one hand on my abdomen, other hand on my hip. I use my waist to turn and my quad, so I load the leg. So now I can spiral, drill, twine through my leg. One, I'm going to swap my hands. So I use my waist and quad together, and I'm loading here. Then I spiral, one on that backwards arc, keeping that good shape. Use my waist and my quad together. Feel the pressure build in this leg, that kinetic strength. Then we move across, drilling. Use your waist, quad. Can you see you keep that good structure, that good stance? Go one. Use your waist and quad together. So the reason I touch and keep changing my hands is because we do this all the time in the form, in different parts, but my hands are doing other things. And by touching, I'm feeling to see if I'm actually doing them correctly or not, or I'm just cheating myself, yeah? So that's why I keep swapping. So ready, we load. We spiral, turn, then we spiral, keeping that good shape. Remember the 45-degree angle, don't let your center line go past that 45. Use your waist and quad, don't let your center line go past the 45. So go 1, 2, 1, 2. So go 1, waist and quad together, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Remember here when you turn, don't let the knee or hip roll in too much. There might be a slight closing, that's okay, but it's not big movement. That means the waist isn't doing what it's supposed to do, and the quad. Go 1, 2. So go 1, 2. So go 1, 2. 1, 2. And up. And relax. Shake out. And the next one, the last one before we're running out of time. Before we finish, the opening and closing of the chest, yeah, or opening and closing of the back. Remember, same thing, yeah. So or emptying and filling of the chest, or emptying and filling of the back. It means the same thing in this practice. So first, let's do this wrong. So put your fingertips on your sternum, on your chest, and just move your elbows forwards and back. So this movement is not happening from your chest. We want it to come from your chest or your back. So this is wrong. So when we do this, probably not going to be as big as this or as fast as this, but I'm literally just making this movement from my shoulder. We don't want that. We want the chest. If you have a look, we exaggerate. So we sink into the quad, hollow your chest, rounding your back, and that will bring your elbows forward. So now my chest is closed, back is open. So now I'm going to push through my legs and open my chest, closing my back. My elbows move back. So that's what we're trying to do. So first we really exaggerate this. So ready? Close. Open. Close. Open. And feel how when you move your chest in and out, how that moves your elbows. So you've got to feel this connection together. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And relax. So obviously we don't want to move so big, especially when we do the form. So it's a lot more subtle. So now your elbows won't move as big because you're making a smaller movement with your chest and your back. Okay, and feel. So if you have a look, I sink, head up, chin in. That brings my elbows forwards. Now as I open my chest and straighten, my elbows move back. It's only small. And feel. If you don't have the connection, that's fine. It takes time. That's what Kung Fu means, like skill built over a long period of time. Yeah. So it takes a while to build this feeling. And sometimes one way will feel stronger, one way will feel weaker. So today, I can already tell when I'm coming up or opening the chest, the connection isn't as strong. Yeah, that's fine. I just have to keep practicing. So ready? Let's go. So ready, we sink, fingertips in the middle. I'll stand sideways a little first. So sink, body upright, closing the chest, Then open, close, open. Remember, head up, chin in, close, open, and feel whether and be truthful to yourself whether you're just moving your elbows forwards and back or it's coming from your torso, from your center, from your chest. Keep going in your own time. And relax down, and then just in your own time, straighten, breathing in, down, breathe out. Remember, sinking into your hips. So in your own time, coordinate your breath with your own movements. gradually making your breath deeper and smoother. And relax when you're finished. And relax your arms, your legs, shake out. So those are the core body mechanic exercises, and in nearly every movement of the form, some part of those movements are occurring. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to connect your body. So that's what silk reeling is. It's not just you kind of do this type of movement or something. It's a principal method of moving. Lots of arts use the idea of silk reeling, and it's always maybe similar but slightly different depending on the art. Yeah, in Chen Tai Chi, this is how we do silk reeling. So it's a way of connecting your body and moving in a certain way. And in terms of how Chen Tai Chi works in terms of kind of qigong or health in that sense, so it's working the sinew channels of your body. So as you, for example, as you're twining through your legs, it's working all the meridians to contract, open, release to pump the energy through your channels. For example, we open, close constantly. Yeah, so I'm exaggerating that just to show. So this is like working the microcosmic circulation. Yeah, constantly. So you're using your waist. So remember in Chinese medicine, qigong, the kidneys are really important. So this is what we're trying to do. But when we do the form or do what we traditionally call silk reeling, we can miss all of that out and kind of have this placebo effect of feeling nice and just using your breath and become floaty. But that's not Chen Tai Chi Chuan, yeah? And that becomes almost something else, yeah? But we've got to try to put these things into the form practice, yeah? So good, thank you.